Hey everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. I had a viewer question about the Darak Lorena body, which I have the Mia head on right now. And the question was, could she be a child for a 60 centimeter doll? And so what I thought I would do is I would show you her with her proportions with some different dolls of different proportions and sizes so that you guys can get an idea of kind of how she sizes against other dolls. In case you're interested in purchasing her, which I will leave the links below for that. She is live now. I know a lot of you had reached out to me that the body was showing sold out. The body is available now, so you can get the body without a head or you can get the body with the Mia head if you want at this point in time. So that is this doll. This is the Darak Mia doll, and I've got the Mia head on her. I took the Lorena head off and I put the Mia head back on. But the question came because we were talking about the size of this doll, and she's kind of like a larger MSD. Like she's not MSD size, but she's not MSD size either. She's somewhere in between. She's like 13 inches tall. So I wanted to show you guys her with the specific question was about a 60 centimeter doll. So I'm going to show you her with Mariah. I don't have a male doll in the size. I've got one ordered, but he's not here yet. And you can see them next to each other. This would not, in my opinion, make a good child for her because the height would be a very young child. It wouldn't be like, you know, Mia to me reads between 10 to almost up to 14 years old. Like she could be in that age range, but this height would not be appropriate for a child of that age, in my opinion. For her. So if she was more like toddler faced, then maybe yes, this would work. Also, you gotta look at the head proportions here. The head proportions, the heads are pretty much the same size. So I don't know if it would work for that reason too. So that's kind of my thoughts on the 60 centimeter. Again, I don't have a guy to compare her to, but I also have now, Ondina's not quite 60 centimeters, but she is considered an SD. And that's a testament to what a great face-up this is, because the face-up did not get damaged when that just happened. I just put a little extra silicone putty between the faceplate and the back of the head because the magnets on this doll are not that strong, and so there was some putty there, but I guess it wasn't enough. Anyway, this is the same story with Ondine. This doll, it would work a little bit better for her as a child, just I feel like with the proportions and things like that, but still I don't think it's gonna work because this Mia doll to me is older and should be, you know, about up to here height-wise if she's gonna be her child. So I feel like, you know, that situation's not gonna work. So I don't feel like this doll could really be a child of an SD doll. It could if she had a more baby face and she, you know, was a younger looking doll, but she's not. So that's kind of, you know, my thoughts on that. So what I found works really well is I think she looks really good. Now these of course are young looking dolls anyway, but I feel like proportion wise and height wise, she would make the best child for something like a mini Dolphy Dream. So you can see the height is about right. She comes up almost to the shoulder. The proportions are right. The head is not like way bigger or way smaller. And you know, she's about, if she's an 11-year-old girl, like my 10-year-old niece comes up right almost like her. I mean, I'm a short person, but she's almost, you know, she's past my shoulder. So I feel like this is a better mix for as far as could this doll, you know, in a character be the child of this doll. So I think quarter size is going to make a better parent type figure for the Darak Mia, but I'm going to show you, like, because all dolls have different proportions. So SD dolls, they all have a different proportion to each other. MSD or 1/4 dolls have different proportions to each other. So I'm going to show you her. So she works with this because it's a big head, and so the proportions are bigger here. But with Pigeon, for example, Pigeon has a smaller head and her proportions are different. It wouldn't work because her head is so much bigger and her body's bigger and thicker. It just is not going to work as far as she couldn't be Pigeon's daughter because the proportions are just so different. So I think that's one thing you have to really consider. So this doll, the Mia, has like her head is like an 8'9". You can squeeze her into a 7'8" wig, but that gives you an idea of the head size, where Pigeon is more of a 6'7". So, you know, your child's not gonna have a big old noggin while you don't. So, you know, she just doesn't fit with her as far as a child doll. Now I'm also going to show you her against my Zwergnazi doll. Now Zwergnazi dolls are, I want to say this doll is 19 centimeters tall. Yeah, I think she's about 19 centimeters. No, not 19 centimeters. I'm sorry guys. I'm going to say 19 inches. I can't remember in centimeters exactly how tall she is. But she's a little bit taller than an American Girl. But I would still kind of put her in the quarter size, but she can really tend to stay. But anyway, this doesn't work for me because of the Zwergnazi proportions, and that's because the Zwergnazi head to me is so much bigger. You can see them side by side, and she really looks like, they don't look like they could be, you know, have that relationship between each other, you know, the parent and child. Not only because the Zwergnazi dolls are young and they're sculpted young, let me just say that to begin with, but because of I'm strictly talking about size, because of the size of this head as compared to this head. And then I brought along too an American Girl, just because American Girls are a standard that a lot of doll collectors know about, you know, just to show you guys the comparison. So here she is next to American Girl. Now an American Girl has more like a 10-11 or is it 11-12 size head, so of course that's not going to work. She could be like a Patty Play Pal type of doll that belonged to your American Girl with her size and her proportions as compared to American Girl, but she wouldn't be able to be like her child. Again, ignoring the fact that American Girls don't look old enough to be an adult and have a child, but just size-wise, that's how that looks next to each other. So size-wise, proportion-wise, she looks best to me with something that would be around the size of Mini Dollfie Dream. Again, Mini Dollfie Dream is a younger doll, so wouldn't have the, probably wouldn't have a child, but if you had a doll that was a mature doll in this size with a larger head, I think that's going to be your best if you're trying to show characters and you want like a dad and a child or a mother and a child. These two sizes would work really well together. So unfortunately I don't have, you know, I was looking around my doll room to see if anybody else would really work well with her as far as mother and child. My Forever Virginia Briar actually is very similar to Dollfie Dream in head size and body size, and so she would work well. I feel like as a parent, if she weren't, again, the younger sculpt. But so you would want a mature sculpt, like Pigeon's a very mature sculpt, but she is proportionally, whoops, her wig fell off. She's proportionally not right to be the mother to this doll. So in my mind, I can't think of any off the top of my head that would be proportionally right and mature right. At least I don't have any in my collection. Of course, I haven't seen every doll in person, so I don't really know, but I hope that helps answer the question about, the question was, would Mia work as a child for a 60 centimeter male doll? And my thing is probably not, because with the 60 centimeter, it's just the proportions, well, not even the proportions, but the height's not right, because she's older than to be only coming up, not even making it up to the hip. So anyway, hopefully that was helpful. I will leave the links below to purchase your own Mia or your own Pal Lorena body if you just want the body, because it is available. And if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.